This is Jeff again with Oklahoma Chiller. Today we're going to go over the importance of grounding your crankcase heater strips and how they can play into a failed compressor. So if you look over here, a lot of your main compressors will have this auxiliary relay on the side here. How this works is you have power coming into your line voltage, which will go through a normally closed auxiliary switch. This will power your crankcase heater strip when the compressor is not calling for cooling and the contactor is not pulled in. And as you can see here, this little pin will sit right in between the actual contactor itself. So when the contactor pulls in, it pulls this down here and it breaks contact from top and bottom. So now this normally closed switch is now normally open and it cuts off high voltage going to the crankcase heater strip. Now, why we want to talk and focus on grounding your crankcase heater strips. This tandem set of compressors has their grounds for their crankcase heater strips properly grounded. If you look over here, these crankcase heater strips have failed in the past. Their grounds were not properly connected, and what they did was they fused that auxiliary contact together with the contactor not pulled in. Now we're going to circle back over to the contactors. So let's talk about this contactor and its auxiliary relay which powers the crankcase heater strips. Let's just say our crankcase heater strip fails, which they always do. It is going to go short to ground. And when it does that, it's going to go to the easiest path. If you do not have a proper ground, that easy path is going to be this auxiliary switch. When this auxiliary relay fries, it will lock this contactor in place. Then the system has no idea that happened. It will try to pull in the contactor, energize the compressor for cooling, but the contactor is now bound up on one side. So the compressor is only getting one, maybe two of the phases instead of all three. This could potentially harm or irrevocably damage your compressor, all from not having your crankcase heater strip properly grounded. So it is a good practice to always inspect your crankcase heater strips on your run-ins, on your annual, your preventive maintenance, to ensure that they have a good solid ground. And then before you perform a startup, you want to look at each one of these auxiliary relays and make sure that they move freely. This one is bound up, you cannot push it in. This is an example of a healthy one.